Welcome to the live stream. Today is Saturday. Let me just adjust this camera. Ready to go. So we're continuing on with our night scene here, and we're doing a gradation in the sky. It's a transparent gradation. I have a lot of transparent mixed in here, so this is all the same color, but it just has more transparency as it gets down towards the horizon. So there's limitations with this transparent base. I'm trying to get like an almost clear tint or glaze at the horizon here, but it's kind of hard to accomplish for some reason with this transparent base. This roller's a little bit too small, so it's forcing me to have to kind of see, it's about ½ an inch too short, so I'm going to work my way down towards the horizon slowly. And you can really see the roller, the lines of the roller with this transparent base. You have to be real gradual moving up and down. So we've got to make sure we're keeping our Kento clean. I already smudged one margin. It's not much of a gradation, but you'll see here. But it's subtle. It's hard to work with this really transparent colors with this oil-based pigments here. This is where Mokuhanga has a way more control and gradations. So I'm trying to make this look like a Mokuhanga print, but it's really difficult with these oil-based pigments sometimes. So there it is. So I'll show a before and after. So before it was just a flat color, and this is the gradation over top. It's subtle, but from the top to the horizon there's a little bit of value change. And I just wanted it to be a little subtle gradation. So I'm happy with that. After this we will be doing the gradation in the ground plane here. Well, it's on the other side. Oh, I forgot to pull up the comments. Let's see here. I don't know why it does this. Sometimes it doesn't. There we go. What kind of wood are you using? I tried using the Sheena plywood from Jackson's, and it would crumble along my cut lines. It's really hard to get any detail at all. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Drowning in puddles. With the Sheena plywood, you can't get super fine details. So here, good morning. It's so here you can get smaller details if you're carving into the wood, but to leave the material, say like this line here, excuse me, this is about all you can get with the details. It's about this size. You can see my finger. That might be like a millimeter wide, and then yeah, it'll start to crumble. There's different quality Shina plywood, so the Jacksons might not have a very good Shina plywood. I've ordered some from, I think this piece is from what's it called? McLean's in Oregon. And again, it's not very good quality. So if you want some quality carving and some detailed lines, you're going to have to get some American cherry. But also, when you do fine details, you have to make sure that your knives, I'm curious, what kind of chisel or knife were you using? We're using a V-gouge. Because V-gouges just tear through the wood. They're not a very good tool. They're hard to keep sharp, and they're good for linoleum or for rough work. But for fine details, you need to have a sharp hangito or knife. Southern California, is that San Diego or LA? But yeah, you're not going to get super fine details with the Shina. You also have to carve really shallow. If you carve too deep, it tends to crumble. Listed as student grade. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I have a couple here. I could show you what I'm using. I have multiple. This is an old one here. And this is one here. They're all different qualities. But I do get the nicer ones. I'm not sure. They're like about $40, I think, nowadays. I have like 3 or 4 of them, but it's really important to keep them sharp if you're doing details. If they're not sharp, they'll crush the wood fibers as you're cutting, and that's why it'll crumble right off the surface. Also, you might be carving at too steep of an angle, so you might want to lower the angle of your knife. So if you're carving at a really sharp angle, there's only going to be, let's say, this much wood. But if you're carving at a low, shallow, you'll have more of a lower angled pyramid coming up to. So you might want to, like if this is your tool, you don't want to be going down at a 90-degree angle. You want to be going out at a low angle like this, so you're leaving some more of the wood, if you can possibly do that. But it takes practice. So you can see the barren lines, or not the barren lines, the roller lines here, the horizon. That's the problem using this transparent base. You have to really be careful with the roller. So that's what I'm trying to prevent that from happening, but it's kind of hard to control. But most of that will be covered up with foliage from the trees, so I don't think you'll see it very much. Let's see what we're saying here. About an hour out from LA, Riverside. Yeah. So you're going to take some practice, so don't give up on it. Maybe try to design if you're trying to do key lines, it's really difficult with the Shina plywood. You're going to need a harder piece of wood, unfortunately. The wood has limitations, so it's good that you're exploring the mediums and seeing what you can get away with. But it comes down to just redesigning, you're having a different concept, That's why when I do details with linoleum, I'll carve the black as a negative and then print over top of that. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I've been exploring with recently. So I'm going to actually print on I'm going to get some black printmaking paper, starting from black and working my way forward. See, I just got that. I should have used a larger roller. I wonder if I could switch. I need the squeaky roller, I think. See, that's too big. I think we just have to stick with this roller for now. Oh yeah, so if you're used to dry point, you're used to like super detail. So yeah, you have to get a different, have a different outlook on your designs. I think linoleum can hold pretty good detail. I've never tested it out to see like what kind of line work I can get away with linoleum, but I'm pretty sure you can get it. I carved the linoleum with my Japanese tools, just like I would with Shina plywood or cherry. I'm really trying to make sure I don't have any roller marks in this one. So I'm slowly just coming onto the block and off of the block, feathering it up. Feathering it down and then feathering it up. I still see a line there. It's going to happen. So there's limitations with this transparent pigment here. You can only get away with so much with these gradations. It probably would have been better to just mix my opaque. I'm trying to do transparent layers, but I should have just done probably a nice opaque light with white mixed in from light to dark. That probably would have been a better, stronger. But we're just exploring and seeing what we can do here. Yeah, I'm really enjoying using the linoleum. I enjoy carving it too. So this one's better, and no roller marks, it's good gradation too. So I'm just going to try to mimic what I just did there. That's a nice one. Yeah, I'm thinking about buying some black or dark gray printing paper. And then I start with the key lines by carving the negative, printing on top of that. With lighter values, so working from black to white. It's kind of the opposite of Mokahanga, where you build slowly to the darker values. We just do the opposite with oil pigments. There's a couple benefits of doing it that way, especially if you're doing a reductive block. So if I carve away the key lines first, you can always see that in your block, those lines. So you have a map of what areas you can take away. So I have to push this ink right into the wood. I'm putting a lot of pressure actually and just kind of smoothing it out. It's kind of blending. And I'm going to work my way down to the horizon, make sure I cover that area. Then I'm just going to come back up towards the top. Just feather it out smoothly. It takes a lot of practice to get like a good sensitive touch with these rollers. It's easy to make a mess of them, that's for sure. Yeah, I'll be probably doing that, doing something. I don't have any projects figured out next. Just trying to have an exhibition I'm installing on Monday. This print's actually, I gotta finish this print and frame it by Monday. It's gonna go on the show. But I don't have any projects lined up after that. I do want to finish printing a design for Jed Henry. It's a print that he is been out of it for years now, and I've really been procrastinating and not fulfilling his orders. I've just been very busy with my own work. So I'd like to finish that. So that'll be some Mokahanga printing. I'll document that. I've already got, I think, 2 colors printed, 2 gray tones printed. Yeah, it's getting to be nice. Little gradation. And that moon is coming out nicely now. You can see how I wanted this value that's under the trees here. I want it to be the same value that it is in the rest of the sky. If I didn't have that blue there, when I print that green for the trees, it would be a lighter value, and it looks kind of strange when you do it that way. I've made that mistake in the past. I have a print here where I can show you just what happened there. I think it's here. Yeah. Did it? Yeah, I could show you as an example here. So this is a print I did. It's hard to see, but you get the idea. So here, right here, I didn't print this tree behind, there's this cloud behind the trees here. And you could see the value is different. It's subtle, but it's different. And even up here, you can see how I printed this. You can see the value change, especially in this part here. I think I printed the blue over the green on this one, but you can see the difference. This is kind of a blurry example. See if I can get a better example here. There's another one. Yeah, it's hard to see, but you get the point. Yeah, especially up here, you can see the difference in the part that's printed over the blue and the part that's printed over the white. So really I should have had, if I wanted to, I would have had these tree shapes in the blue block as well. You can really see the difference here. That green that's over the cloud and then the green that's over the blue. It's two separate colors. So these are little things that when you study, say Hasui or artists that have done this before, and you just really figure out what they've done, it's a really good way to learn by making copies. I would suggest trying that. You know, breaking down, this is just a little scrap test print. This is like a little Hasui reproduction that I made. Actually, I carved this one for Dave Bull. And this was just a little test run. But when you copy the masters and you really figure it out, you can then start to apply it to your own work. Yeah, this is in the Mocha Hankan catalog. This one, I did another one for him. I didn't print it, I just carved the blocks. Oh, you found my channel through them. So Alex is saying he has a CO2 laser. Yeah, lasers work for fine detail. I know a couple people that are using lasers for woodblock printmaking. And they can get they're getting really nice work, nice prints from them. So that is one way of doing it. But yeah, if you don't have patience, printmaking might not be a good medium for you because it does take a lot of patience. But it doesn't have to be. You can be put more energy into it and be more spontaneous or aggressive. Or I've been using my Dremel tool. That's what I'm probably going to do next. I'm going to do a print where I'm only use my Dremel tool, which is a hand power tool, rotary tool. But I really like the way I have a bunch of different size bits for the cutting tips. And I like the way it makes marks in the linoleum. So that's probably going to be something that I explore next, is using the Dremel tool. So you found my channel through Jed, Henry, or Dave Bull. I'm curious how. Just one of the videos they mentioned me or something? Or was it did it pop up on the live stream? I need to start watching Dave Bull's live streams again because I need to get caught up on what he's doing. It's been a while. Forgetting to clean up my Kento here, which is an important step. Yeah, those Hasui prints are small. Those are to scale pretty much. That's the size that they made those at. If you're interested in detail, you should check out my video on the Durer print that I made. The Durer block I made last Christmas time. Did a little... This is a piece of cherry from Japan. This I got from Wood. If you really want a nice piece of wood, you have to get it from Japan. This is a really nice hard piece of cherry. This one has knots on it, so you don't get very good quality, but this is the Dura print that I made. It's a little scene, nativity scene. But the size of this actual print was about a quarter of this. I don't know how they cut. Pretty sure they cut it in end grain with engraving tools because it's just so small. It's impossible. Like this was small enough for me to carve. But talk about details and patience was this one was a test for me. But I got a couple videos about the process of this one. And I really enjoyed copying that one. I'd like to do another Dur print. Maybe I'll blow up a Dur and I'll carve it with my Dremel tool. So it'll be, the YouTube video will be Dur meets power tools. These gradations coming out nicely. Nice atmosphere in the sky. Oh, you saw the video where I go to the museum. Oh man, thanks for watching the videos. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, that was a really fun process. I'd like to do that again. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that for my holiday print this year. I always try to make a print for the holidays or for the new year, and I send it to friends and family. That's actually how I got started with printmaking. I wanted to make some Christmas cards for my family. First year I made little watercolor paintings. I made like some stencils, and I made some like little watercolor paintings, and like, you know, I made probably like 20 of them or something. And I was like, man, there's got to be a better way to reproduce an image. And it's like, why don't I just buy some linoleum and just do some hand carved and hand printed cards. So that's really how I started printmaking. I was using a wooden spoon, V-gouge. And I did that for maybe three years. And then I was like, well, let's start making some other images from the linoleum. And I made a couple landscapes. Maybe I'll do a video kind of recapturing my printing process from the beginning. Get out all my prints and kind of go through them one by one and just talk about, sorry, someone's blowing leaves outside, so you're going to hear that noise. Everyone in New York City has a leaf blower, and they all just blow the leaves to the one side, and then the next neighbor blows it back, and then the wind blows the leaves back, and the leaves just keep accumulating on everyone's sidewalks. Or they just blow them into the street, and then the wind blows them right back onto the sidewalk. But we're at peak leaf falling season. See, I'm getting that line again, so it's really hard to get that line out of there. But I think it'll be covered up with it'll mostly be covered up with trees. trees there, so you won't even see it. And apologies to anyone that was on the live stream yesterday, because my phone just died and it just ended. So sorry for the abrupt ending of my live stream yesterday. Yeah, I studied painting. That's where I studied painting, and that's what I used to do. I took one printmaking class in college, and we did etchings, we did some dry point, we did aqua tint, and it was all intaglio printmaking techniques with copper plates. But at the very end, we were allowed to do our own project, and I did a little woodcut, like a 3 or 4 color woodcut relief, and I just did that on my own. And I don't have that print anymore; it's gone. I threw it out, I think. Somehow it got lost in between moving. I've moved to, how many apartments have I been in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on my 6th apartment living in New York City since 2007. I've moved 6 times, and somehow that print got lost. I'm trying to get this line out of here. It's really difficult. You gotta be really... There we go. I think that'll be a nice one. So yeah, I had a little bit of experience with printmaking, but the woodblock printmaking and the lino cut is pretty much all self-taught, watching videos online, watching Dave Bull's videos, reading books. And then just learning through practice. That's a nice one. We have 2 more sheets to go, and then we're going to work out this next color. Today's a cloudy, sunny and cloudy day because the light is coming and going. I love painting too. I've kind of got away from it the last 8 years or so. Sorry for that noise. It's really obnoxious. She's blowing out the driveway. There's lots of leaves in the driveway. Yeah, limiting my colors. It kind of kind of helps me simplify my painting now, though. Like printmaking informs my painting now, where I'm really breaking down simple shapes and breaking down values and really seeing the image in a more flat way. But I need to get back into, I'm getting back into paint. I've been painting all summer. But I like to get back into outdoor painting and painting plein air or plain air. Eventually she'll stop blowing the leaves. Yay. Oh boy. She's got about half of the driveway done. Alright, this is the last one. I just realized that these colors in this Hasui very similar to the print I'm working. This is Mokahanga, this is water-based. It's kind of got the same feeling, and that's what we're going for. Oh, that's a nice one. So I was getting better as I was moving forward. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got a batch of 12. I think I got about 10 good ones right now, so it'll probably be an edition of 10. So these are going to be very limited edition, these prints here. So what's next? We need to clean off that block, and then we're going to be using this side of the wood here. So we need to clean this off. Just a little bit of avocado oil cuts right through the oil nicely. I'm not going to go crazy with that. Yes, the ink I'm using is oil-based. They're Cranfield Relief inks. I mixed in like a lot of transparent base, which is a Gamblin product. I have it here. Yeah, I didn't dampen this paper. You can if you're, the print I did where I used Mokahanga first, and then I transferred over to oils. I did dampen the paper throughout that process just because I think it was expanding. It was washy, 100% Kozo, and I just wanted to keep that expansion rate so the registration was lined up. But you don't have to. It's not necessary. And a lot of these papers are unsized, so if you dampened them, they would be really kind of weak. So I just dry. So we need a gradation here, and we need to figure out what color we're going to do. So this is not a good example here. Let's get a nicer one. This one is the one with the smudge. I smudged this one right here. It's okay though. So I'm thinking for this ground plane, we keep it kind of more on the green side, like a blue-green, just so it's a little bit different than the sky. So I could probably use a lot of the same ink. Just mix in some little bit of opacity and a little bit of opacity, and I'm done with this roller for now. I'll clean it later. Yeah, we're gonna need squeaky roller? No, we need the big roller. So we need a decent amount of ink for this one. It's a nice wide section. So let's take the darkest color first. I'm just going to move it up. And I still have some of this green from yesterday. It's kind of dry though. Yeah, I don't want all that gunk. So when the ink's already starting to dry, it's got a lot of chunks in it, so you don't want to really use that. So this is pretty much garbage. I need to get some more paper towels. Just bear with me for 1 second. I'd say mixing up these colors is probably my least favorite job, this kind of printing, but it's important to take your time and to get it right, because if you just rush it and you don't pay attention to what's going on, you really can just ruin a print. So you really got to figure out what you want and make sure you get the scale, the value scale correct. So that's why I was pulling out my trusty little value scale color wheel thing here. These things are great. It's called a pocket color wheel, but it has the value scale here on it. So I was comparing that to the sky and the land yesterday. So it's important to really figure this stuff out. So I got a mess. My palette is a mess if you look here. Yes, I do look at all these colors. I haven't had time to clean up this palette. All this ink is like dry. You can see it's got like a skin over it. The red is still good. Yellow is still good. But all this other stuff is garbage. Yes, I do color swatches. So actually that's a good idea. Let's take, while that roller was still, where'd that roller go? Well, I still have ink on this roller. I'm going to put some of that on here just so I have it documented, and I'll do it on another sheet here. So there we go. we have an example. I think the inks, they pretty much dry exactly the way they look. I haven't noticed any variation there. So they're pretty true. I've been working with some gouache and I was having some difficulty gauging the gouache because it dries so much darker. So what do we need? We need some green, I think, a little bit of green or yellow. Maybe just yellow, some yellow ochre. So the way I like to do this is I have car alarms going off now. I'm going to take all of this together. I need some room to work here. So I have a little bit of this, here's this Prussian blue. It's almost like phthalo blue. I'm going to use a little of that. This is the blue mixture we just had. A little more of that here. Use a little bit of this yellow. Let's see what it looks like. Use it all. So we're going to go from like a dark blue-green to a transparent blue-green. It's hard to see this color. Yeah, it's a little too green for me. That might be a better color for, say, the trees. But I want this to be more blue. Man, the light today is really difficult to work with because it's sunny 1 minute and then it's dark with these clouds covering. It's very windy today and it's really difficult to mix these colors with the light changing. So I need cobalt blue is what I need. I like this color, this cobalt color better. Take some of that. Yeah, this is probably a really boring part of the live stream, so sorry about this, but this is just part of the process. This is probably the most important part of the process. Because without a good color, you're not going to have a good print. Yeah, this is a nicer blue-green. Yeah, this is much better. It's just so cobalt blue and this much cleaner. This is too earthy, too dark. Put that up there for now. All right, so when it's going to be a cobalt blue, did I do a gradation? I did. I did a slight gradation there. Wait a minute. That's too much yellow. So I want to make up a big enough pile that I'm happy with. And then I'll just add the transparent base along the way. I'm going to put a little bit of, tiny bit of red in here. This is pretty much all transparent base, so let's get this over here started. Take all that. See what this looks like. It's kind of gray. I feel like I need to add a little bit of white into this. Yeah, this light is really frustrating right now. So now it's like dark in here. The camera's probably not picking it up, but it's just like I need to turn the light on. I can't see. It's really frustrating me right now. So this might take longer today. I'm having a hard time with making a decision on what color I'm going to choose here. And the way the light is going in and out is not making it any easier for me. So I might end the stream because I'm kind of losing my patience at the moment. And I need to kind of clean up this area. As you can see, I have a pretty big mess here. So I think I'm going to have to go through, clean up my palettes, clean all this up, really get myself organized. And I'm going to do that off camera. Just spend the approach. I don't want to rush this. So I'll keep you updated on what's going on with this print, and maybe I'll start a live stream a little bit later after I get everything going. But for right now, I think I'm going to turn the camera off because I feel like I'm gonna have to sit down, I have to turn a light on and really figure out how to mix this color for the next one. And it is going to take some time. I have to do a large gradation here with this roller. So I'm going to turn the camera off for now. I might turn the live stream back on in maybe half an hour or something. So if you're around, maybe I'll see you then. But I am continuing printing today, so this is my goal. But I really want to figure out what this next color is. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, and I might see you in a little bit. So I don't know what you guys got going on today, but I'll probably be back on here within the next like 45 minutes or so. So for now, I'm going to end this live stream. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.